Good morning. It's Thursday, April the 3rd. Here's what we're working on so far. The fallout has started from Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs against 60 countries.
Trial of two people charged in the death of an OPP officer near Hagersville is set to continue this morning.
And in his first Major League star pitcher, Easton Lucas helped the Blue Jays beat the Washington Nationals. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Morning Live. I'm Emily Taylor, in for just one more day, and then I'll sleep in tomorrow.
That's a good sleep in, right?
It is. And we had quite the storm last night.
Yeah.
And yesterday afternoon. So we've had just about 4 seasons in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, funny what April can do to you, huh?
Yep. Yeah. The thunderstorms last night.
Oh, I know.
Thunderstorms. Oh, yeah. They just rumbled through the area for quite a long time as well. And we got some heavy downpours. Never mind the snow, the freezing rain, then the rain, the thunderstorms, the fog,
the fog this morning.
Wind. I don't have enough camera here to continue going. Yeah, and it's still raining this morning, and we have the rainfall warnings still in effect for the Niagara area and fog advisories for Hamilton, for Guelph and Kitchener. It's just really foggy, particularly if you're in higher elevations like here in the Waterdown area around our station. It is very foggy this morning, so whatever you do, take care because of all the precipitation that we have had. There's going to be a lot of, as we call it, pooling and ponding. There could be some flooding on the highways. Those puddles can sneak up on you. You hit a puddle at speed and it just yanks the car. So be really careful. But it's getting milder. We're sitting at 8 degrees right now, and we're going to climb to 17 later on today. We have this mild push of air, and we're also going to see the rain coming to an end this morning. We'll get some clearing. We'll get some sunshine, but really windy for the day today. So we'll talk about all of that coming up in a few minutes. Right now, a quick check on the roads. We do and have had a number of collisions this morning. Nothing in the Hamilton, Halton, Niagara area at the moment. That's the 403 and Waterdown Road. Looks good. Of course, it's raining. It's really wet on the roads. MTO traffic cameras just give you a few. Grays Road, Stony Creek, Toronto bound away from us. Toronto bound now towards us here, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, and here at the QEW at Bronte. Traffic is no problems, just the really wet roads this morning. So we'll talk about weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Thanks, Brian. U.S. President Donald Trump has followed through on his threat of global reciprocal tariffs. Although he didn't include any new levies for Canada, the country is still dealing with the previously announced economy-wide tariffs. Simone Gavros joins us live in the studio with the latest. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Emily. Well, Trump declared a national emergency in order to justify the tariffs. Now, the same 25% tariffs on all auto parts, steel and aluminum, and Canadian goods are still in effect today. Now, yesterday, Prime Minister Mark Carney responded to the latest U.S. tariffs, saying that they will fundamentally change the international trading system.
The U.S. has signaled that there will be additional tariffs in so-called strategic sectors, pharmaceuticals, lumber, and semiconductors. So we're in a situation where there is going to be an impact on the U.S. economy, which will build with time. In our judgment, it will be negative on the U.S. economy. That will have an impact on us. But the series of measures will directly affect millions of Canadians.
Trump declared yesterday a 10% baseline tax on imports from all countries and higher tariff rates on dozens of nations that run trade surpluses with the United States. That includes a 34% tax on imports from China and 20% on the European Union, among others. Now, a fact sheet from the White House says countries have taken advantage of the U.S. for generations and that Trump is, quote, working to level the playing field. Previously announced tariffs on Canada will still move ahead today, including 25% levies on all vehicles and auto parts not made in the States, on top of the 25% tariffs on all Canadian steel and aluminum exports. Now, auto industries here in Canada are already feeling the effects of the tariffs. One Stellantis assembly plant in Windsor announced yesterday that they are pausing production for 2 weeks. National Unifor President Lana Payne flagged this very concern last week, but says that the tariffs will soon affect more than just the auto industry.
We already are experiencing them on steel and aluminum, and we already know that he is going to be coming after other sectors: lumber, the forest sector, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, copper. I mean, he's trying to pit one sector against another and come after us in that regard. And so no one should be feeling grateful today. We still have a very big problem here.
Meantime, local mayors on both sides of the border had a meeting yesterday prior to this announcement, calling on Trump to end the tariffs once and for all. We're going to be seeing what reaction comes out later today. Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. So we've already heard from the federal Conservative and NDP leaders about how they would handle Trump's tariffs. So if he becomes prime minister, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says he will reduce what he calls Canada's overdependence on other nations. He would also trigger an early renegotiation of the Canada-United States-Mexico agreement. Now, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says he would change procurement rules to strengthen the purchase of Canadian products wherever possible and would also remove the GST off bills.
And so we've got to be there for families to protect them against that. So I propose a couple of things to do that. First off, let's take the GST off of essentials on your monthly bills, like your internet, your home heating, your cell phone services. Let's take the GST off of those essentials and save people some money.
So obviously, one, we need an immediate response. Two, we need to tackle the dispute after the election, hopefully to bring it to an end. But three, perhaps most important of all, we need a long-term plan to build our economic fortress in Canada so we are never vulnerable to these kinds of threats again.
The Green Party will speak about Trump's tariffs at 10 o'clock this morning. There is less than a month to go now before the federal election.
It's day 12 of the federal election campaign, and here's where Canada's main party leaders are going to be. Liberal leader Mark Carney will return to the campaign trail this evening with an interview in Montreal tonight. He had stepped away yesterday for his duties as Prime Minister. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre will start his morning in Kingston and then head to Oshawa for a rally. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is in Ottawa. He'll also travel to Montreal this evening. And as for the Green Party, co-leader Elizabeth May will spend the day around Vancouver, while co-leader Jonathan Pedneau will speak about Trump's tariffs from Montreal.
The Conservative Party has dropped another candidate, the fourth in 2 days. Don Patel was running in the Toronto area riding of Etobicoke North. The Conservative Party says he is, quote, no longer a candidate because of a comment made on social media. Patel had liked a Facebook comment a year ago calling for Canadian residents to be deported back to India.
Closer to home, Hamilton's tiny home community for people experiencing homelessness is almost at full capacity. The Barton Tiffany site, which opened a little more than a month ago, has 40 small cabins and 80 beds. City officials say 70 people and 24 pets have moved in so far, with more arriving daily. Good Shepherd and Hamilton city staff are helping people settle in, providing meals, healthcare, education support, and case management. The site has washrooms, showers, laundry, and 24/7 on-site support.
A group of Niagara organizations is expanding services for homeless people through the province's Homeless and Addiction Recovery Treatment, or HEART hubs. But the doors can't open without promised funding from the Ontario government. Gateway Residential and 9 other organizations plan to open a hub on Queenston Street in St. Catharines. It will offer mental health, addiction treatment, mobile services, and peer support. The province says each HEART hub will receive up to $6.3 million a year for up to 3 years. The groups in St. Catharines are waiting for that money.
We've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to make that happen, so we're really ready to go. We're just waiting for those funds to flow from the provincial government. We hope in the next 4 to 6 weeks that we can really see this starting to roll out.
Now, once it opens, Gateway staff say the hub will operate 7 days a week.
All right, let's turn to Sportsline now and start with baseball. Easton Lucas impressed in his first career Major League start as the Toronto Blue Jays completed a 3-game sweep with Washington with a 4-2 victory at the Rogers Center.
Nathaniel Lowe here leading off the Washington second, and a swing and a miss at a fastball up. First strikeout of the afternoon for Easton Lucas.
Lucas struck out 3 and walked 2 over 5 scoreless innings to get the win. George Springer hit a home run for the Jays, who improved to a 5-2 and start a 10-game road trip on Friday. And Major League Baseball's average salary broke the $5 million barrier on opening day for the first time, according to a study by the Associated Press. Juan Soto's record $61.9 million pay from the New York Mets led the way. The Mets top payrolls for the third straight opening day at $322.6 million, just ahead of the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers at $319.5 million. Those two teams each spent roughly 5 times as much as the Miami Marlins, who spent $64.9 billion.
Toronto Maple Leafs have clinched a playoff spot.
Here's Tanev to Matthews off the boards. Shot up. Traffic scores.
Marner scored the goal-ahead goal in the third period, and Anthony Stolarz made 29 saves as Toronto edged the Florida Panthers 3-2. John Tavares and Matthew Knies had the other goals for Toronto. So the Leafs are now on a break until Saturday when they host the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Alex Ovechkin moved 3 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's NHL record with number 892 in the Washington Capitals game at the Carolina Hurricanes last night.
Played by Strome. 35 seconds to go in the period. There's Ovechkin score! Career goal number 892.
Ovechkin beat Frederik Andersen for the 10th time in 13 career games against the Danish goaltender. The 39-year-old Russian has 39 goals this season and is on track to reach 40 for a record 14th time. Washington did lose to the Hurricanes 5-1. The first-place Capitals have 7 games left this season.
Okay, coming up on 12 minutes after 6 o'clock on this third morning of April, although by the snow and the whiteness that we had yesterday, you wouldn't think it was April. But yeah, April can do that to you, unfortunately, and it did. Let's talk about traffic first of all. Lots to get to here this morning. Traffic is starting to build, but no problems on the 403 there. That's our exclusive camera. Let's go back into St. Catharines. Nothing in the Garden City Skyway. That's the east camera. Looks good there. Grays Road, Stony Creek, still no problems. Here's a look at Fairview. Getting slow as you head toward Branch Street. Nothing at the Ford plant. Nothing again at Dixie. Be careful, as we say, of pooling and ponding. Lots of puddles, lots of precipitation. Hit some puddles this morning coming in, and boy, they can really drag your car away from you. So be careful if you're going at speed. Let's look and be careful of puddles with pedestrians as well. All right, let's get to our temperature that we have at the moment. We'll start with what we have right. The temperature has just gone up. I mean, it was like 4 degrees when I came in this morning really early. Now it's just skyrocketed. We're sitting at 10 at the moment. Humidity is right up there. We do have a lot of fog, a fog advisory in effect for Hamilton. The winds have actually died down, which is interesting, but they will pick up and become very strong for the day today. So today we are going to see some sun. We will see some clearing. Showers this morning. It will become quite windy. We could have winds to 70 kilometers an hour later. But look at that temperature today. We're going to hit 17. Look at the precipitation. We've had the thunderstorms over the past 6 hours that have rumbled through the overnight and giving us some heavy downpours. But you'll notice, as far as the satellite is concerned, the showers are coming to an end, and that's progressing from west to east, as you can see. So that cold front is going to go through. And the cold front isn't really going to drop our temperatures. No, it's going to stay mild today. It'll get much cooler overnight tonight, but look at the temperatures today. 17 degrees around the Horseshoe. There's that shower this morning with the sunshine coming out later on. Tonight, yeah, it gets cool. Temperatures 0, 1, and 2. Skies will try to clear. There'll be just a few clouds. And then tomorrow, temperatures nice, around seasonal to just above 9, 10 to 12 degrees. And we should have a fairly sunny day tomorrow away from the lake. Guelph and Kitchener, a little milder at 13. So out the door, third morning of April, we have had a lot of showers, a lot of rain. So be careful, as I said. It is cloudy right now. It is very foggy, particularly in some areas like Hamilton. And the temperature is mild. We're sitting at 10 at the moment. And we'll look long range, of course, coming up. Annette, Emily.
Thanks so much, Brian. He has got to be the hardest working person in the newsroom right now.
Juggling.
All right, lots more coming up on the show. We're going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat and lots of business news from the fallout of those tariffs. Stellantis is shutting down its vehicle assembly plant in Windsor for 2 weeks. All those details next. Welcome back to Morning Live, and welcome back to our Emily Vukovic. How's it going this morning?
Hi, good morning. Lots of good stuff coming up in Chit Chat. We start off with Katy Perry. She's announced her new tour, and you would not believe how much some of the tickets are.
This seems to be a trend that I do not enjoy.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the newsroom earlier this morning, how high they're going.
It's incredible. And we talked about this story when the news first broke, but we actually have a due date. Peppa Pig is getting ready to meet her new sibling.
Okay.
Like, this story brings me so much joy. So much joy. And Nintendo Switch is finally releasing a brand new console, but wow, it's expensive.
This has been years in the making, though. Every couple of months on Twitter, it will trend again. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's another rumor. It might happen. It might happen.
Yeah.
So finally did.
Here it is.
All right. Thank you so much, Emily. We'll join you over on the couch shortly. Let's take a look at some of our business numbers now. Our dollar surged 60 basis points after Donald Trump announced that we are exempt from his new tariffs. It's trading overseas at 70.72 cents U.S. Gold is $14.40 an ounce lower, and crude is down nearly $3 a barrel to 69.10 cents U.S. Global markets are being hit hardest this morning. In midday European trading, markets are down triple digits in London, Frankfurt, and in Paris.
In Asia, the markets were down across the board as well in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Look at that, almost 1,000 points down in Tokyo. And North American markets, Bay Street closed 270 points higher yesterday in that brief period before Donald Trump unleashed his latest tariff barrage. The Dow was up by 235 and the Nasdaq gained more than 150. However, U.S. stock futures are pointing to a much lower opening this morning.
Unifor has told its members at the Stellantis assembly plant in Windsor that there will be a 2-week production pause starting on Monday. Local 444 posted a message on Facebook last night saying, quote, "While we had heard rumors of potential downtime, the company said there are multiple factors at play, with the primary driver behind this final decision being this afternoon's announcement from U.S. President Donald Trump of the U.S. tariffs." Canada has been exempt from Trump's reciprocal tariffs, but the Trump administration maintains a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum, as well as newly imposed 25% levies on all foreign-made vehicles. The union says Trump's trade war continues to create uncertainty across the entire auto industry.
Canada's antitrust watchdog is pushing back against Google in its lawsuit over alleged anti-competitive advertising practices. In a court filing, the Bureau says Google's recent legal response describes an ad market in Canada that, quote, ignores commercial reality. Google has denied that it uses its dominant position in web advertising. The Bureau wants Google to sell 2 of its services and pay a penalty.
Amazon has put in a bid to purchase TikTok. A Trump administration confirmed the 11th hour pitch as a U.S. ban on the platform was set to go into effect Saturday. The official wasn't authorized to comment publicly and spoke on the condition of anonymity. The official says the offer came in a letter to Vice President J.D. Vance and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. The existence of an Amazon bid surfaced as Trump was scheduled yesterday to meet with senior officials to discuss this upcoming deadline for a TikTok sale.
Chinese electric vehicle giant BYD has surpassed Tesla in sales. BYD has reported a 60% surge in sales in the first quarter of this year. It sold more than 1 million vehicles in the first 3 months of 2025. That includes battery-powered cars, hybrids, and commercial vehicles. BYD's first quarter sales of electric vehicles soared nearly 40%. Now, Tesla sales for the same period dropped 13%. Another sign that Elon Musk's once very popular EV company is struggling. And this company is doing so well because its vehicles are much cheaper, more accessible, and they have new technology that allows recharging in 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting story to follow. All right, we're going to take a quick break right now, but the hardest working man in the newsroom will be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Can we get you anything, Brian?
All right, 6:24 is the time. It's Thursday morning, 3rd of April. We are looking at the QEW in Dixie here because I had a report of a collision on the QEW Toronto bound right around Dixie, but I'm not picking it up on the camera here, so it might have cleared. Here's the Garden City Skyway. That's the west camera. We'll go to the other Skyway where it's a different story. Here's the Hamilton side of the Skyway Bridge, the Burlington Skyway. As you can see, it is fairly busy. QEW Bronte looks good. We'll continue all the way through to Sheridan. And we'll dip into the 403 east of Mississauga Road. Nothing to see right there. Be careful of the puddles, pooling and ponding on the highways. If you see one, try to slow down because we're getting a lot of word of disabled vehicles, and that could be because of water and electricity don't like to go together. So you splash your electricals, you're going to pull off to the side. All right, let's get to what's going on temperature-wise. Toronto's not reporting right now, but I can tell you they're 4 degrees, same as Mississauga. They haven't had the influx of the mild temperatures yet, like Hamilton, 10, Grimsby, 12 at the moment, and those temperatures are only going to rise. Those are our seasonal temperatures, 9 and -1 for the overnight low, sun times and records for today. We will see still, there's a chance of showers still this morning, 14 degrees for the first bell, and then 17 for after school. We are going to see that clearing trend continue as the day goes on. So 17 today. We'll see that sunshine. It's going to become very windy. +1 overnight tonight with a few clouds. Tomorrow sunny and 9. That's a seasonal daytime high, so a fairly nice day. It's back to rain on Saturday and 7, 5 and cloudy on Sunday, and then we really struggle next week, Monday and Tuesday, 1 and 3 only. That's a look at your forecast. Annette, thank you for the muffin.
You're welcome.
And Emily, thank you.
We have to keep you fueled.
Yes, Brian has his blueberry muffin. We're good to go. Amazing. Okay, the lineup has been announced for Burlington's Sound of Music Festival. That's Big Wreck. They're one of the bands performing for the festival's 45th year. It's up for Father's Day weekend at Burlington's Spencer Smith Park, and there's going to be a lot of Canadian content.
Saturday night headliner is going to be Big Wreck. We also have other headliners, David Wilcox, Tim Baker, Joel Plaskett, Tebe, Stephen Page, formerly of Bare Naked Ladies. Just an awesome lineup top to bottom. There's so much pride and so much ownership in this event. And for us to be able to present this year after year is such a privilege and an honor. And it's a lot of fun.
It's one of the organizers, Brent Cannard. He says the music is just part of the festival. There's also going to be lots of food and activities for the kids. And this year, a new ticket tier called the Encore Club will get you a year-round membership, a T-shirt, and more. The $45 fee will help keep the festival free. For more details, we've got everything listed on our website, chch.com.
I grew up in Burlington, and Sound of Music Festival is a big part of my childhood growing up. And as a teenager, it's always
summer is officially there, right?
Exactly, exactly. All right, we have lots more coming up. Stay with us.